Hello and welcome to the OB Builders Cup Series here live from virtual Charlotte Roval. I'm Sheldon Atkins, joined in the booth by Joe LaCastro and Austin Derbyshire down in the truck. Tonight, 70 laps of road course action, lots of twists and turns, literally, as well as probably a good share of chaos. Joe, how you feeling about the newly renovated Charlotte Roval?
Well, newly renovated means that it's new not just to me, but to the guys who are going to be trying to tackle this road course tonight. So I expect that it's going to be one of those things where it's a bit of a learning experience for me, both as a commentator to get a chance to call this course, but also for some of the drivers, undoubtedly, who are trying to figure out exactly how to drive this course. So one way or another, it's going to be interesting.
And the big change that they really made is they took the wonderful S sequence that you have leading back onto Oval 1 and 2 and pretty much cut it out, added a straight shot through there with a 90-degree hairpin to lead you back onto the track instead of having a way to really build the corner. You're going to see a lot of guys swing wide as we get a look at the championship standings right now. Sean Conklin still with a decently sized advantage over Justin Levine, who is out sick this week, and I believe that's Brandon Paslock in third. And Patrick Gitter rounding out fourth, and fifth place, Joseph Causey, if memory serves. I'm having a little bit issue with our feed right now, but these guys getting ready to take to the track here for 70 laps of pure chaos.
And chaos it is, or chaos it is going to be. But let's see, in terms of keys to the race, buddy, I think we're going to do something a little bit different this week, right?
No, nothing too crazy. The first thing, though, is if you want to survive here, you're going to develop a rational case of calinophobia, which is the fear of turtles, by the way. You do not want to hit these turtle curves, especially on the, well, pretty much anywhere on the track, but especially in these S's, because if you hit those, it'll pop that left front of the car way up in the air, and you're not really going to have much control of what direction the car is going to be going, especially on the front straightaway in that last chicane. It can create for a pretty sizable wreck, and at the bare minimum, definitely a time penalty. Number two, these you might as well have basketballs in the back, because if you miss a shift or you come into the corner just a little too aggressively with too much rear brake in it, you're going to have to look out for that wheel hop, because it will come around and take you out quicker than you can blink. And then the final key to the race, or the final objective anyway, is to survive, but it is optional.
Optional task, survive. It's kind of how it feels, though, right?
Absolutely. And normally this is the part where we go into our picks of the race, but doing a little something different here tonight. Based on how everything's going on the road courses for pretty much everything related to the Cup car this season, we know that there's one man to beat. It's going to be that 10 Victory 1 machine up at the front of the pack here. And Joe, how many laps do you think old Sean Collins is going to be ahead of the field tonight?
I'm going to be conservative. I'm going to say just one full lap ahead by the end of the night.
I'm thinking definitely one, because Roger Pierce is pretty scrappy, but I'm thinking all the way up to sixth is as far as he's going to put 2 laps down this evening, as we get ready to take a peek here at our starting grid. And starting on the pole, surprise, surprise, it's going to be the 10 machine of Sean Conklin with Roger Pierce in the 27 to the outside. Starting third place, going to be Paul Hill, another road course ace with Brandon Paslock, P4. Fifth place, the 3 machine of Luke Christian with Adam Benefield, his outside in 6th. 7th place on the grid is going to be Daniel Wiles with Corey Moore in P8. And running out the top 10 is going to be Chris Hudson and Bryce Rayner.
Moving right along to number 11, it's Randy Mullins with John Binder in 12th. 13th, it's Keith Long with 14th, Brian Johnson. 15th, Chris Crosby. 16th, Russell Black. 17th, Greg Carr. 18th, Joshua Hyatt. And rounding out your 19-car field, Alexander Carr.
Pretty light field here tonight, but that's it's basically the lay of the land when you come to these road courses. Not a lot of people really like to drive them much, especially in this next-gen car. And Charlotte Roval has just always been one of those tracks that's, struggled a little bit with numbers, and not a lot of people happy with the big changes they made on the tail end of the infield course here this year. So, a couple guys deciding, tonight's a great night for a drop week.
Yeah, I admit that if I was in any league really, and I saw a Roval coming up, that would be my thoughts immediately. Was, well, if I have a drop a week, this might be it, unless I really haven't had a reason to use one. But either way, I'm kind of glad that we got 19 cars out for what we got.
Absolutely, but rolling into the OB restart zone here through the final chicane. Green flag is out. Sean Conklin gets to the gas quick. There's a couple cars almost end up in the grass. Difficult start there for Roger Pierce on the outside line as Paul Hill in the 26 machine tries to get to the bottom of turn 1. Roger Pierce going to drive around on the top line, though, and get himself cleared up into second place.
And we got a nice string of cars so far here. The 27 of Roger Pierce finding his lane, getting settled here after, almost being on the grass there, as you mentioned at the beginning of the race. He had a rough start, but he was able to sort things out, and now we are single file almost all the way through the entire field. As we're going to kind of see here for a while, that's just the way you got to run these road courses, especially early on when you're just getting the tires warmed up. There's not going to be a lot of pushing for passing, not early on, I don't think. We'll see.
Not at all. Difficult track to really get the job done to make passes here. As you see, everybody single file out now, trying to get settled in, get some laps under their belt, figure out what they got. As Sean Conklin walking away to a decent advantage right now over Roger Pierce.
That's wild. And we're going to have to take a look at some of the signage here as we get into this chicane. I think there's something interesting in this spot. We'll see. As we keep eyes on the crew now. Cracking into lap 2.
Now watching. At the front of the pack right now, Conklin running really tidy lines through the first handful of corners. That's mainly the secret here, is you just don't want to get out here over aggressively and start throwing a whole bunch of different loads at the tires here. You really want to just kind of keep it nice and tidy, keep from burning those tires off. Because this is one of those tracks, there's not a lot of grip to be found here. And once you start cranking up the heat on these tires, it just gets worse and worse. It's like a more painful version of Sonoma.
And I don't know if you caught that sign on the left side of the camera there. We got a chicane entry warning. There it is. Just a heads up that you're going to be entering bad times. Ooh, off the wall goes Joshua Hyatt. The whole team back there with Greg Carr, Alex Carr, and Joshua Hyatt looking good, but Hyatt bouncing off the wall there. He's going to be back a little ways now as Carr and Carr pull out ahead. Ooh. Yeah, here's the replay and the Wayback Machine. Just not pretty. Cutting corners is not allowed. We got a good number of cars here now coming down and around through this crazy. That's 180 degrees of hairpin right there. That's 90 is being conservative.
Is absolutely flat out painful trying to get through there. I ran a couple of test laps here when they first unveiled the new layout in I think GT3, either GT3 or GT4, and it was so much more painful than I remembered it being here a couple seasons back.
Goodness. You just hate to see it up as one car decides to become decides to audition for John Deere. This is that kind of track, though.
Paul Hill trying to bring the heat to the back of the 27 machine of Roger Pierce here through the first turn. Down to 2 and 3. Roger Pierce with the advantage. Paul Hill chasing, though. Good center there for Paul Hill, but Pierce gets the drive out turn 3, sending it down the back straightaway. Good launch for the 27 machine.
Oof.
So right here, this is where it gets treacherous. Because if you're Paul Hill, you want to find a way to outbrake the 27, but you don't want to send it too deep. Have the opportunity of locking up those back tires and taking yourself or him out with you. Want to be kind of courteous and concise, because you never know when you're going to bump into somebody that you made contact with at a road course. And normally when you do, it doesn't go so well for you.
Yeah. No, that is exactly right. And here we have some people challenging your turtle strategy.
Yeah, you can make do with it on that back straightaway chicane. You can kind of use that to try and help you find a way to rotate the car a little bit better. But the way that the turtle sets up here on this last chicane, you hit it the wrong way, you set yourself a great risk of knocking the right front of the car completely off when you come down the front stretch.
Wow.
And you absolutely don't want to get anywhere near it coming into the heartburn turn 1, because that will shoot you off track into that concrete wall that's about, well, in the racing surface.
Yes, sir. It's those bumps you don't see that get you the worst.
Hey, what if I'm Paul Hill? I'm looking in that mirror right now, getting a little bit stressed out, because we've seen how good Brandon Passalacqua is on road courses here, and he's starting to find his way to the back bumper of that 26 machine here. Not a good exit back onto the oval there for the 6 of Passalacqua, though. Going to lose a little bit of ground here to the 26 of Paul Hill. And Paul Hill still chasing after Roger Pierce with the rest of the field, trying to find some kind of way to ruin that 10 machine, but it's already looking like it's a lost cause, as Conklin came across the stripe last lap with a 1:20.03 to Roger Pierce's 1:21.93. So that's over a second lap advantage to the 10 machine of Conklin.
Just cruising out there. He's bringing us closer and closer to getting into the double digits in tonight's race's lap count. Let's hear it for Sean Conklin, who's up 6.5 seconds right now from Roger Pierce.
Also, Conklin proving me wrong and showing that he doesn't stop to help turtles across the street, as you see him smash over the turtle curbs there that last lap coming through the front stretch chicane.
We got eyes on Sean Conklin here, just driving this line, cutting that corner. That is what a precarious corner. That is crazy.
And how much he's parking it there too.
Yeah, it really is.
He nearly brings the car to a complete stop on the last turn coming into the oval turns 1 and 2, slamming it over the turtles here through the backstretch chicane. Just holding it nice and tidy down to the blue stripe here through 3 and 4. Quickest way around there. Shortest diameter to the corner. Not in enough of a speed range to really worry about scrubbing the tires too much. And over the turtles and down into turn 1. That time across the stripe, it was a 1:22.90 to Roger Pierce's 1:21.296.
Okay.
Paul Hill ever so slightly faster in third place, but nowhere to go with it right now. Him and Roger Pierce just about matched for lap times, a 1:21.243 for Paul Hill. Passalacqua was starting to fall off a little bit here with the 1:21.7.
We got a group here, group of 3. Chris Hudson, Daniel Wiles, and up in the back here we got Randy Mullins. This little pack has been sort of quietly working with each other to make their way around and through. They're all kind of back a little ways from where they started, having been passed by Corey Moore, Bryce Rayner, and Brian Johnson ahead of them. Everybody from 1st through 6th back, Sheldon, is exactly where they started this race. We really only have some mix-ups going on back and around this 10th, 11th, 12th spot.
That's just the way these road courses go. You know, it's all about lap time, and everybody qualifies with typically what is their best possible lap. And then it's just so difficult to really dig deep and find anything extra here. As we see Chris Hudson making a move down to the bottom of the 3 and 4 on the 13 machine of Daniel Wiles. Now, Chris Hudson's somebody that I'm looking for later on in this race to really start to pick off a few spots. You know, he's been so good on the road courses this year. It's basically been his bread and butter in the OB Builders Cup Series to be good on either the road courses or the very high wear short tracks.
All right. Those high wear short tracks are also places where you're going to see the machines just get beat to hell. Kind of like what's going to happen here tonight with some of these cars. They're just going to be driving themselves in unique in different ways, but it's going to be a war of attrition in some ways. And looking for that braking zone, down to the inside they come. Corey Moore and Bryce Reiner. Both looking pretty good. Moore's last one was a 22.56, so not quite underneath the 22 mark where everybody ahead of him is right now. In fact, him and Moore have got a little bit more, Reiner and Moore have got a little bit more to make up if they want to try to crack into the speeds that the top 6 are running.
Thing that I do like that I'm seeing right now, though, is we are seeing tire fall off here, which in years past we didn't really see much of at the road courses, but the big changes that they've made to the next-gen car and the tire model around the next-gen car this season seems like it's really starting to make a difference here. Conklin's fastest lap was on lap 3, ran a 1:19.938, and he's steadily fallen off on pace, about to hit that 1 second per lap mark on the tire fall off.
Oh no, 1 second per lap is not a pretty spot to be in.
No, the rest of the field, too, you know, going down the same ladder with him.
Oh, Reiner. Reiner just about loses it, coming through the hairpin, trying to play catch up with Corey Moore. Very difficult spot, obviously, coming out of that hairpin. You're going to want to hit the gas to try to get up to speed, but boy, oh boy, if you hit that gas just a fraction too soon, that whole car is going to come around on you.
It's such an easy problem to run into with here. Because this track has a little bit of everything that the next-gen car, well, just realistically speaking, race cars in general absolutely hate. You got a lot of elevation changes, a lot of high-load corners, and you couple that with braking zones that if you try to step it ever so slightly further, you're probably not making the corner. A lot of different ways for you to make your day a little more difficult here. And this track just kind of mixes them all into one horrifying melting pot.
That's a good way to put it. A horrifying melting pot. I like that. It's a good visual. All right, coming around here is Chris Hudson. The beautiful 43 livery. I love the livery on this car. I say it over and over again. But I think he's one of my favorite cars week in, week out from the looks department. That's a slick look.
That's a great way to use a P51 Mustang influence on a Ford Mustang.
We gotta go back and take a look at this really quick. Check this out in the Wayback Machine. We had a little situation here with Joshua Hyatt.
It's rough. Season gets rougher. Just misses the breaking point for turn 1 and stuffs it onto the fence, takes it back down pit road to avoid being in the way of anybody. But it's definitely been a rough year for that 2 machine.
There goes Sean Conklin back out in front. Having made the pass now on Alex Carr, that's the first lap car of the evening.
Alex Carr already 5 laps down on pace. out here trying to log some laps, get a couple points built up to maybe, jump a few spots on some of the guys that didn't show up tonight.
Mm-hmm. I got Lou Christian, familiar name. Let's see if he can put it away here. Right now, Lou Christian sitting at 5th where he started this race, getting chased down by Benefield.
And the 3 machine looking for a good day tonight too. Another opportunity for him to get up the ladder here in the points. It's been a rough season for Lou Christian as well. A lot of races, coming together to look like he could get a great opportunity to walk away with some, good finishes. But, in the closing laps, just about everything has transpired to make Lou Christian have a difficult year. So tonight, a race that he's really looking to put a good foot forward and capitalize on to close the season out.
Yeah, let's see it. That's what I'm hoping for too. I got a soft spot for Lou Christian, and I think that seeing his name come up so often, but not seeing him across the victory road so often is starting to get to me. So I'm kind of hoping that he puts up some good numbers tonight and really has a really good showing.
I'm going for Lou Christian, and the reason being is you see so many 3 paint schemes on the service. I know it's the most basic thing ever, but there's something about seeing RCR numbers on a car for me. And then seeing somebody take and do something, a little more on the unique side of things with Dale Earnhardt's number of all things. Looks pretty cool. Let's see that car run up towards the front a little more. Definitely a bit of a Robbie Gordon tribute with the bright orange and black contrasts. And, well, hey, always been a Robbie fan.
Well, all right. Could be a Grid Vision tribute too as well.
I do think that car would look really good with Grid Vision stickers on it. Hey Lou, if you're trying to do that, be sure to reach out. We can get you the logos.
Yeah. Heck yeah, heck yeah. So we got eyes on the ball. 42 is around. Almost around. He's just into the wall. Corey Moore just eats a little bit, takes off a bigger bite than he can chew. Coming around here,
yeah.
Watch this.
Had himself a little bit of help. Got checked up a little bit there. Coming off onto the transition, and the 41 machine of Bryce Rayner gets an incredible run on him and just knocks the rear bumper off, shoots the 42 into the inside wall, or the outside wall.
No, yeah, there is some contact there, isn't there? You can kind of hear it. You could definitely see it.
Corey did not sound too happy over the radio there either. So if I'm Bryce Rayner and I'm coming up to that car at some point later in this race, I'm not expecting any favors. And you'd see a decent amount of right front damage to the 47 Precision Toyota Camry. Works out for Danny Wiles. He moves himself back up into the top 10, taking the 10th spot away. Hudson still hanging out in P9.
And unfortunate side news update. Looks like Joshua Hyatt's car is DNF.
Tough break for Hyatt, but battle's starting to heat up right now for the 5th spot. Lou Christian has a mirror full of Adam Benefield right now. Benefield almost got a great jump on him on the transition onto the oval there. Working to the backstretch chicane. Here comes Benefield trying to put the bumper to the rear of the 3 machine. Great set of corners there, though, for Lou Christian. Able to maintain a little bit of an advantage over the 83 machine of Benefield through ovals 3 and 4. Onto the front stretch chicane. Benefield backs it up early, trying to get the drive up off the corner. Slams it over the curbing. Closes a decent margin to the back of the 3 machine. About a car length there. Turn 1, Christian goes a little bit wide now through turn 2. And Benefield loses a lot of time there through 1 and 2. That gives all the advantage back to the 3 machine of Christian.
look at what we've got. Benefield right now is the car to watch. He is 2 seconds behind Luke Christian. So it's going to be a little work he's got to put in order to get there. But Benefield is also, I don't know, he's been playing it cool. He's been playing it cool, but he's been making moves at the same time. Does that make any sense? I guess it's kind of, seems like a juxtaposition there, but it seems like he's doing a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
Well, it's just classic Benefield. Talk about it all the time. You know, he's not somebody you're going to see out there go overdrive the car and back into the fence 10 laps in a run. Benefield is, you know, calculated. He'll just sit back there and he'll wait for the race to come to him. And it pays off so often for him, so long as he can just avoid getting caught up in the chaos of other drivers.
Mm-hmm.
But on a track like, you know, Charlotte Roval, where, you know, you don't have cautions to restack the field and bunch the field up, you know, you get to see the benefits of him just putting together good, clean laps work out for him. But right now, just has to find a way to get past that 3 machine of Luke Christian, because Luke Christian is fast right now.
There he goes.
Also, what a turnaround on the road courses for Luke Christian it's been this year, too. At the beginning of the season, I forget, I think it was here in OB Voters Cup Series we were covering. Yes, it was. It was Mexico City week, actually. We went to the Daytona road course, and Luke Christian was struggling to make it, you know, 115 laps and keep the rear tires on it. And since then, he's really looked like he's hunkered down on the road course program and just kind of relearned how to drive these next-gen cars to avoid having that happen, because he's had some pretty stellar runs the last handful of road courses we've been to.
Coming around here into lap 16. We are just a little ways, oh man, probably like what, like a sixth of the way through? Yeah, something like that.
Yep, right now, Roger Pierce still not able to lose that 26 machine of Paul Hill. Hill's still hanging out there in the mirror. These two have pretty much been glued to each other since we dropped the green flag. Just a couple car lengths separating them at the most this run. Great corner for Roger Pierce there. Would have put up a little bit of advantage over the 26 machine.
Mm-hmm. Out in front, the Kingslayer back on track, Paul Hill. Sitting third right now with Roger Pierce in sights. Only half a second behind Pierce. Line he goes, and we're trying to see if he can get that pass. Ooh, onto the grass a little bit there. Bit of an ambitious play. I think you kind of got to be in this kind of situation.
Yeah, you got to take as much of the corner as the track will allow you to try and get those good runs through apex and corner exit. Right now, Roger Pierce is just a difficult one for Paul Hill to get to. Wondering what the beer count for Roger Pierce is tonight. I don't think he's going to have a free hand to tell us.
That's a good question.
At any point,
I was kind of wondering this
through a lap here.
They're all left turns to him tonight.
Oh, and issues a little bit further in the pack.
Uh-oh.
Adam Benefield. Huge error with the transition. Breaks sideways into the oval 1 and 2. Loses a whole bunch of time to Luke Christian.
Frustrating.
Just jumps to the throttle a little too quick there on that transition. The back end snaps around in the 83 machine. That's a couple seconds he loses to the 3 of Luke.
here.
So right now, Conklin up to a 15-second advantage over Roger Pierce last time across the stripe.
15 seconds up, and he's only a little bit up of Paul Hill, who's right behind him. But that advantage Conklin's got is 15 seconds and counting, my man. It only seems to be increasing by ever little bit as time goes on here. We're not going to...
On average, it's been about a second a lap here for Sean Conklin over the rest of the field.
That does sound about right.
If anybody wants to make it exciting, you know, he's probably going to come lap you soon. I wouldn't do that, though. I don't actually advise that.
You wouldn't advise getting lapped by Sean Conklin?
I'd advise getting out of the way.
Yeah.
There's one thing about Conklin. He's not going to stay behind lap traffic for too long if he can help it. Team working through turn 6 now into the hairpin of turn 7. Putting it back up onto the track here for ovals 1 and 2. Conklin now going for a bit more of an arc through 1 and 2.
Okay. Back to the live camera here. There goes Sean Conklin. Ooh, we got somebody sideways in the back a little bit. John Binder. Very rough situation. Let's take a look back in time and see what happened here. Oh, wow. Wait, what do you think happened there, Sheldon? I think he just outdrove himself a little bit. That's my guess. Looked like he got the car a little out from underneath him.
Not sure. I'm still having difficulties with their replay system at the moment. See Conklin now starting to work himself up to the 64 machine of Russell Black. Black trying to hold on to a strong 15th place finish right now. And just look how deep Sean's able to send the car into the chicane here.
Whoa. Oh, bouncing through the chicane. Back on board with the Kingslayer himself, Paul Hill. Okay. We got some great ride-along content here with Paul Hill, yeah.
And Paul Hill is starting to get back up to the rear bumper of the 27 machine of Roger Pierce again to try and make another stab at second place.
You gonna let him have it? Or is he just gonna keep on keeping on with his current line?
Roger Pierce ain't gonna let anybody have anything, man. You gotta work to try and get past that 27 machine. Doesn't matter who you are, whether it's a friend, teammate, whatever. Pierce will drive the doors off of you. If he gets the chance. You see Hill get a really good corner there into 7. And able to just about hang with Roger Pierce. Pierce gets a little bit better of a corner exit here through ovals 1 and 2 down to the back straightaway, which is going to help propel him forward a little bit into the chicane. But Paul Hill sends it deep into the chicane. With these drivers absolutely massacring the turtles here as we come back into ovals 3 and 4. And Pierce still with the advantage over the 26 machine. And this race right here by these two is either going to be won through a mistake or just whoever gets to pit road first.
Any fingers crossed? Any early bets on? Any crystal ball predictions on who you think is going to pit first here?
Honestly, it's pretty much all the driver's discretion with these road courses. Because the beautiful thing about not having cautions here is you can strategize however you want. Whether it's going to work out for you or not, that's between you and yourself, really. How well you can execute. See.
Oh! Chris Crosby and John Binder. Little contact. And that's not very friendly at all.
That was John went just a little too deep into the chicane, turned down a little early. Crosby's car was there. Back tires, I think, locked up on the 23 machine, snapping them around into Crosby. But Bender definitely a quick flick to the left there, and unfortunately that 9 machine of Crosby wasn't necessarily giving him the corner, so nowhere for the 23 to go. More of a racing deal than anything, though. Wouldn't put blame on either driver.
No, racing incident. That's what I would call it personally, and we'll just hope that they do too.
That was the Bauer for 13th. Chris Crosby able to hang on and keep it pointing in the right direction. Retains the 13th spot. John Binder loses a spot to Russell Black, falls back to 15th. But with 24 laps on the board here, Sean Conklin working his way to attempt to put the field lap down. We're going to send off to a quick word from our sponsors. We'll be back to bring you more of the racing action here on the grid.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. visit iRacing.com.
And welcome back to the OE Builders Cup Series here on Grid Vision. 26 laps in, and the battle for second place starting to heat up again. Paul Hill has found himself to the back bumper of the 27 machine of Roger Pierce here on the front straightaway. Now the question is, though, passing. We haven't really seen much of it here today unless somebody's made a pretty big mistake. And unfortunately, Paul Hill tags the fence a little bit coming out of turn 1 through into turn 2. Loses a little bit of time to Roger Pierce. And Pierce has just been getting such good runs through 3 and 4. That's really made it hard for Paul Hill to find any way to get to the back bumper of the 27 machine. Starts to catch back up to him here on the second half of the track. But that first half in the infield has been really paying off for the 27 machine. And this is going to be a great corner for Roger Pierce. See him swing wide, take the full radius of the track there to set his apex up and get a great launch through the ovals 1 and 2.
During the commercial break here, we had a car, one of them, get into a little bit of a situation here. This is Greg Carr, I believe. In the 25, you can see he had a rough time around the hairpin there on the inside and just lost some positions. Move the camera on to Luke Christian's crash also. Same spot. And it looks like Luke Christian just had a bit of a slower turn than usual, and that registered gave us a little bit of a red flag. We thought maybe it was something that was to be seen. Sometimes these situations do happen, though. You know, when we get these tight hairpin turns, that's the spot where you're going to see these guys come to an almost complete stop sometimes, trying to make that turn and maybe even collide.
Oh, issue there, Chris Crosby. Trying to get out of the way of Roger Pierce, and Paul Hill locks up the brakes. That was almost a calamity coming back onto the oval. Crosby thankfully finding a way out of the way of these late lap cars, as Roger Pierce now having a fight with lap traffic even more, though, because the 64 machine of Russell Black right there in front of him here. You see Roger Pierce dive down to the bottom, make the pass to get by the lap machine of Black. And not really much of a gain there for the 26 of Paul Hill. Nothing really changing for him right now. He was probably hoping that Russell Black would race him a lot harder as these guys start to get themselves up to the 18 machine of Alexander Carr.
And here, there we go. Yep, that's Greg Carr actually smashing into the outside wall there. Not going to be good for him. That does set him up for some time behind pit wall.
And that is the exact reason why they call turn 1 the heartburn turn.
A heartburn
presented by
turn.
Tums, of course. See Roger Pierce now trying to find his way past the 18 machine. The 18 machine swings wide into turn 7 and Parks lets these guys go. Here comes Paul Hill back up to the rear bumper of the 27 to Pierce, though, into turn 1. Almost able to make it happen. There was about to be able to give a shove to the back of the 27, but Roger Pierce grabs through the gears quick down the back straightaway and pulls out that advantage again. Now to the chicane. Is Paul Hill going to make a stab at it? Not close enough, but a good entry, but a great exit again for Roger Pierce.
Yeah, Hill's looking smooth. He is looking very smooth, but smooth isn't always fast. And that's what's costing him right now against Pierce. Pierce is just that much faster. Just that much tiny amount faster.
So see, the thing that you're seeing right now is you got two different driving styles on display here between Roger Pierce and Paul Hill. Roger Pierce takes it nice, slow, and calculated on corner entry, which allows Paul Hill to get a really good jump because Paul Hill is really great at being aggressive on braking into these corners. Problem is, being aggressive on braking, you're not going to be able to get to the throttle as quick as the guy in front of you that's set up for the corner entry a little better. So Roger Pierce able to put the power down a little more consistently, get the launch on the straightaways. And Paul Hill, basically loses what he gains every time basically rendering these two dead equal with each other. But it's cool to see two different drive styles on display here, and both these drivers just dead equal with each other across the board.
It's what you love to see, with that equality across the board leads to just some great racing here. And these guys on the OB Builders Cup Series, they have put together some of the best racing I've seen on the surface in a long time. I love to watch it. Glad I got a chance to hop over here and catch up with this season before it ended. And folks, if you're watching in chat, we're glad that you're here as well.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us. A whole lot of action on track here today as Sean Conklin stinking it up like we're used to seeing on the road courses. A 21-second advantage now over his teammate in the 27 machine, Roger Pierce. And currently has himself lapped through all the way up to the 11th spot. Next car that he's looking to get by is the 11th place runner of Corey Moore, the 42 machine. And Conklin leaving turn 7. Corey Moore just entering ovals turns 1 and 2. So not going to be that far.
Not too far at all. And the sun is setting here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Pretty soon these lights are going to come on, I think, if they're not already on. We're going to have ourselves a beautiful night race.
Still got a ways to go. Yes.
Oh, it's only 4:35. Darn it.
You gotta set that sundial to the right position there, Joe.
Ah, it's all messed up. All right, let's take a look back one more time and see something else here. This is Alex Carr right now. He's in the 18 machine. Let's see what happened here. You see the 27 of Roger Pierce is right by him, but just comes to a complete stop, finishes the turn. So nothing too unusual, but still. This is ooh, wow, yeah, that's Russell Black here. Russell Black, 64 machine, definitely crashing, officially crashing in this case. I'll put the stamp on that. That's off both walls.
Uncharacteristic night for Russell Black, too. Came into the season a little bit later, has been putting together some really good runs, but Charlotte Roval definitely hitting him pretty hard here tonight. This track will beat you up. Also,
yes,
one thing that we also just had a pass for the 5th position not too long ago. The 83 machine of Adam Benefield was able to find his way past Lou Christian. So Benefield moves up into the top 5 here in the 83 machine.
And here in the way back machine, we can see this 2x2 situation. Wait for the pass, maybe. Oh, my bad.
Bumper to bumper. Here comes Paul Hill again to the rear end of the 27 machine of Roger Pierce. Peaks down to the bottom. In turn 4, Pierce gets to the throttle a little bit quicker, though. Builds a little bit of an advantage now coming into turn 5. Down to 6 over the curves for the 27 machine. Here comes Paul Hill peeking to the inside into turn 7. Roger Pierce not going to take the bait, though. Takes the normal line, holds him up, parks it a little bit coming onto the oval. Paul Hill is definitely clicking together some good lap times, and he's not going to let Roger Pierce breathe easy to finish this thing out.
Yeah, breathing easy is not the name of the game here at the Charlotte Roval. You're going to have to hold your breath half the time.
Oh, big wiggle for Paul.
Oof. And you're right. Hill is making Pierce he's making him work for it right now. He's making him stay ahead of him and stay on that throttle as hard as he possibly can. But maybe he doesn't really want to.
The thing that's really working out for Roger, though, as well for Paul, just the cautious entries. He's making the most of the track, using pretty much every inch of the racing surface. You see it especially in the chicanes. You know, Paul comes in a little more shallow. Roger Pierce kind of going from more of a touring car arc through each of these corners. Late apexes all across the board, and that's really helping that 27 machine get good runs off.
Runs are immaculate right now as we are looking through lap 34. We are almost halfway through. We got one more lap and then we're halfway done with this race.
Also, Sean Conklin was able to find himself past the 11th place machine of Corey Moore, now setting his sights on 10th place. Chris Hudson, as Chris Hudson gets passed by the 13 machine of Daniel Wiles.
There we go. Underneath the Bank of America sign, Sean Conklin, your current race leader, 24 seconds ahead of Roger Pierce in second place. Conklin with the highest I rating in the lobby. Conklin with the fastest car. He is the Clark Kent into Superman that needs to be conquered right now, especially at these road courses. So the question is going to become, which one of these guys is the Lex Luthor that's going to be able to pull it off?
Yeah, it's been such a dominating season for Sean Conklin here in the OB Builders Cup Series. But not just the OB Builders Cup Series, too. He's been doing the same thing in NIS A Open pretty much since we pulled out of Daytona earlier this year. Also, first car on this cycle coming down pit road, the 83 machine of Adam Benefield. Going to bring her in, get 4 Mr. Fuel Goods and a tank full of gas.
Very good. That's gonna be the name of the game for a lot of these guys, I think. Let's see who starts falling for the trap. Not the trap per se. Let's see who starts falling for the strategy. First person I
Later,
think of,
Sean Conklin comes down.
If he gets it done now, doesn't need to worry about it till later. Doesn't need to worry about it later. He'll be good for gas for the rest of the race. Ideally. Ooh, Paul Hill. Very speedy Paul Hill. Hopefully he made it across the line. I think he did before getting flagged. Very fast mover.
Now you just got a bunch of guys trying to find the advantage on pit road that they couldn't find on the track.
We'll see. On the track right now, everything is so spread out. You've got guys everywhere on the track.
Roger Pierce gets a really good advantage over Paul Hill on pit road there. And oh, Roger Pierce sideways hard into the wall.
Oh my goodness. That's exciting. Oh my goodness. Well, that fired things up a little bit.
Car just jumped out on him there. Cold tires, obviously. Came back and bit pretty hard. Just comes in turn 3, and it just snaps. Rear end of the car was not planted there, but the nose sure was. And by planted, I mean into the outside wall. Heavy contact is going to take Roger Pierce out of this race tonight. I think it's about as hard as you can hit here at the Roval.
Oh, man. That's really rough, man, for Roger Pierce. Let's see that one more time from yet another angle here.
That's that. It's that wheel hop I was concerned about. You know, Roger Pierce comes out of the radio and says that he shifted down right there, and as soon as he did, the back end snaps out. You just gotta be so careful with this next gen car, because any mistake that you know potentially be able to walk away with in the old car, it's just amplified with the way this car is set up, with the steering rack, the independent suspension, and you know, small things like that can just completely flatline your day before you can even think about it. A break for Roger Pierce, but that moves Paul Hill back up into what will potentially be the second place position here. Yeah, because Passalacqua still needing to come down pit road and pit. Currently hanging on a little bit older stuff there in the 6 machine. It's been a pretty stellar drive from the 6 of Passalacqua as well, running in that top 10 since we dropped the green flag. Bryce Rayner currently holding on to 4th place in the 41 machine. And Paul Hill just about loses it over the chicane.
Not pretty right now for Paul Hill, losing it there, almost losing it in the chicane. We've finally got some movement going in the top 6 now. Hill, Passalacqua, and Benefield are all up between 1 and 2 places.
Well, one of those positions being donated by Roger Pierce there after the heavy contact. But yeah, you get differing pit strategies here at play. A lot of guys making different things work out here to try and pick up some track position the, I wouldn't necessarily say the easy way, but the easier way. One car with a big slide through the backstretch chicane. The 18 machine of Alexander car almost lost it. Able to lock the brakes up though and keep the car pointed in the right direction. Would have been a huge mistake for him.
Here, coming down through, we've done quite a lot of driving tonight, folks, but we appreciate you joining us for what we've done so far and what we have yet to do.
Battle for 6 starting to heat up right now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Brian Johnson working himself up to the back over the 41 machine of Bryce Rayner. Haven't really talked about the 4 much this week, but here he is up to the back bumper into the back straightaway chicane. Johnson, a great entry, a great exit though for Bryce Rayner. The 41 machine going to get a good little bit of an advantage here through 3 and 4, but Johnson going to come out net positive there, picking up a couple car links and a big wiggle under braking for the 41 machine. It's going to make this corner a little dicey for him. You see him slam the curbing. Johnson closes a little bit more. Down to 1 and 2. The advantage going to the 41 machine of Bryce Rayner. Johnson being very aggressive under braking, though. Carving chunks away. Big wiggle out of turn 4, though, for Johnson. Doesn't hurt him too bad, though, as he starts to close in a little bit more into turn 5, but has to check up a little bit to make the corner. That gives the advantage back to the 41 machine as we work into 7.
Here comes the big hairpin. And there we go, getting back up to speed. We got Conklin here. Good. Bryce Rayner. And Rayner still chasing down Luke Christian.
Yeah, this is happening directly in front of your race leader. Just a few seconds separating these guys from going a lap down. Our producer is voting that Conklin is going to pass these two before they pass each other, and based on how difficult we've seen it for these guys to make passes today, I'm kind of leaning in with that theory. I think Darby's right on the money.
Oh, a little bit of a wiggle from Conklin. Is he getting to the point now where his tires are getting tired?
He's just doing that to keep us excited up here. That's all that is.
Something for the boys back home.
I mean, last week he blew down the wall on the last lap to keep us entertained.
He did. It's very true. He did do that. Let's see if we can do something similar this week. #41, Bryce Rayner. Haven't heard his name yet across the victory podium. Has he won this season?
No, but also, you know, another one of the later entrants into the season, but he's shown a lot of pace, especially at the ovals, but putting together a pretty good run here tonight at the road course in the Charlotte infield. So it's definitely good to see for him, and at least to see that he's got the ability to diversify his drive style and to make different places work than you know, just the circle tracks.
Very good, very good. Not for position here. Ooh, it's gonna be a messy situation with these cars now, getting into lap traffic situations. I'll see if I can keep up.
So Chris Hudson sitting in 8th spot right now, trying to hold off the 9th place machine, the 13 of Daniel Wiles. A couple car links separating these two. Hudson slowly trying to creep his way through the field, fell all the way back to 11th at the start. Has worked himself back up to the 8th position, one spot better than where he started out tonight. And Brian Johnson has gone a lap down now in the 4 machine.
That lap down can be made back. We do have the time. Now we're less than 30 laps out. We've only got 28 laps to go.
You're going to need Conklin to blow a motor possibly to get that lap back. Conklin working his way through lap traffic here. Just got by the 41 machine of Bryce Rayner. Now trying to get to the back bumper of the 64 machine of Russell Black to put him another lap down. Dives down to the bottom here into the backstretch chicane. It's just crazy how late on braking this 10 car can be, but also how quick to the throttle he can be, because look at that. He's not losing time any which way here around this overly complicated circuit. .43 laps on the board here. Sean Conklin walking away to a 33-second advantage over Paul Hill in second. We're going to go have ourselves another quick word from our sponsors, and we'll be back to bring you more of the racing action here on the grid.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Hello and welcome back to the OB Builders Cup Series here on Grid Vision. Live from the virtual Roval. I'm Sheldon Atkins, joined in the booth by Joe LaCastro as we see Sean Conklin all over the back bumper, the 9 machine of Chris Crosby. That was dicey for a second. Conklin putting the 9 machine a lap down here as he continues to try and close out another stellar drive here on a left-right track.
That's right. He is reintroducing himself to everybody on the field, one by one.
Just reminding him, hey guys, I'm here too. See Conklin work through the backstretch chicane. A healthy handful of curbing. Somebody better call PETA because Conklin has been abusing the turtles here tonight.
I'm driving right over him.
What a monster. Closest battle on track right now is the 13 machine of Daniel Wiles trying to get to the back bumper, the 43 of Chris Hudson. And it's more or less the same too between Brian Johnson and Bryce Reiner. These two groups of cars running about a car length separate of each other. Right now, Rainer's starting to fall into the clutches though. Brian Johnson putting together a little bit better lap times here. You see him get to the back bumper here into turn 7. Rainer takes it low and slow. Johnson sends it a little too deep in the corner, loses a little bit of time.
This shot here, Brian Johnson's up 7 places from where he started this race, and right now the number 4 is trying his best to get up to the back of the 41, but his challenge is just not there. Not enough heat right now in the engine of Brian Johnson, it feels like. Let's see if he can take advantage of some of these braking zones though.
Yeah, Johnson just doing a really good job with corner entry, not getting the best corner exits, though. But I feel like it's also potentially just a part of this car, too. You know, we talk about dirty air week in and week out. Well, when you're at a road course, what's the thing that's going to be affected worse when you're trailing somebody? I'd lean to corner exit. See the 4 machine trying to make something happen here through 3 and 4. Not able to pull anything out, though. He's going to send it deep down here into turn 7, I'm sure. Deep dive down into 6. Now closing up the advantage a little bit. Closes it up a little more. Under braking into turn 7. But Rainer going to get to the throttle a little quicker here again. Way better corner. Now the 13 machine of Wiles up to the back bumper. The 43. Chris Hudson.
Let's see if the 43 can hold him off. 43 has been, we've talked a little bit about him earlier in the race. He's up 1 from where he started. Chris Hudson has got a staying power for these road courses, but You know, he's just been riding middle of the pack this whole race so far. I haven't really seen him make the jump or close any gaps for the cars ahead of him. So I think maybe he's just comfortable riding where he is at the moment.
It's also the problem though with this next gen car too. You know, everybody's so much closer in pace than what we were years past. And you know, everybody aside from Sean Conklin that in his who's pretty much on the moon at this point. As we see issues on the track. Was that Adam Benefiel?
Yes, sir. Benefiel. Oh, ooh, buttery tires, and he's around and around and around.
Sends it through 7, gets way too wide, tries to grab the throttle. Same issue we saw earlier. Just misjudged where he should have throttled up, sideways and head on into the fence, and that's going to be the day over as we see Daniel Wiles. Oh, Chris Hudson almost goes around out of turn 7. Brian Johnson taking the spot away. No, I was right the first time. It was Wiles.
That's all right. Yeah, we got him caught up now. Let's take a look at that. See what happened.
It was the same exact thing we saw from Benefiel just a lap ago. Hudson sends it a little too deep into turn 7, misjudges the corner, gets high, gets up into the marbles, into the gray. Tries to put the power down to try and hold off the 13 machine, and, well, you've got all that, you know, loose dirt underneath the car, and it's just going to snap around on you.
Ugh. Unfortunate. And then John Binder now. Same spot, same problem potentially, but I think he was a little lower. He didn't quite get up into the marbles.
Just a little overzealous on the throttle there for the machine of Bender.
Wow, happens to everybody here. Everyone gets it.
Oh, everybody except for one. Take any guesses on who that is? I don't know how much hang time that 10 cars caught this race. Anybody can we get a timer for that or something? Just how long these cars have been airborne? Because that 10 has been literally flying around the speedway.
Whoa.
Just hope that Sean doesn't have to take a Joker lap here.
Yeah. Now that would be a cross-promotional experience.
As we see the IRX is still on full display here at Charlotte, even in the Cup cars.
That's right. Paul Hill just bouncing off the thing there. And it looks like we've lost Benefiel completely from the race at this point.
Yeah, that much damage to the nose of the car, that probably knocked the motor out of the 83 machine. There's no coming back from that.
Ugh, how unfortunate. We've lost quite a few racers over the course of the night to some of the damages that have been going on. Both cars and Joshua Hyatt, I think that's that whole team, has been wiped out. Adam Benefield and Dustin Hall. Hall, I believe, is just someone who was watching the race here. So, yeah, Benefield, the last racer who's recently had to disconnect.
Definitely been a difficult night for a handful of these guys, but for these guys up at the top 5, it's been pretty much business as usual.
Yep.
Conklin with a very strong lead over the rest of the field, now up to 35 seconds over Paul Hill in second place. Put together a strong P3 performance tonight. That 6 machine of Brandon Pastelacqua, I mentioned it at the top of the show. You know, keep an eye on him. He's going to work his way through traffic, and, well, he's doing exactly what I predicted. Pastelacqua always pretty scrappy here on these road courses. And hanging on to third place tonight, where we've seen so many others fail just to get to the finish. Pretty good run for him. And sitting there in fourth place, the comeback of the year on these road courses, that 3 machine of Luke Christian hasn't put a tire the wrong direction yet, and holding on to a strong top 5 finish as long as he can get around here the next handful of laps over Bryce Rayner in 5th.
That's right. Just a handful of laps left. 19 laps left before the end of this race. Keeps chipping away at it. Chipping away. Watching Rayner and Wiles yet again. Wiles a little bit back now. Excuse me,
Conklin.
Rayner and Johnson.
A little overzealous with the curbing there, coming to the start-finish line that time. Car just about bucked out from under him.
Well, that would be an unfortunate situation for all the work he's put in so far. If Sean Conklin let those turtles take him out, one of them ended up being a snapping turtle, so to speak. Ooh.
Look how aggressive his line is around here, too.
So aggressive. He's just bouncing around.
She should say to be that fast.
Yeah. But he's got that throttle control, man.
Especially at a track just so treacherous.
Yeah. You could hear the difference in throttle control, though, between him and some of the guys that we've been watching who've been spinning out. Wow. We do need to check the airtime on some of these cars. That's just insane watching that.
I was told you couldn't do that. It would rip the front end off the car, but it was proven wrong. Sean just better hope that the iRacing damage model doesn't want to pull a fast one on him before this thing's over.
Oh, that would be terrible.
Right, that time a 36-second advantage to Paul Hill in second place. And I gotta say, man, I'm impressed with the rest of the field. You know, I was expecting to have way more cars lapped at this point based on what we saw, you know, earlier this year at Chicago and Daytona Road Course and Sonoma and a handful of other places. But this guy's definitely rising to the occasion here at Charlotte to at least keep themselves in the picture, so to speak.
In the picture, they are staying. Corey Moore down one from where he started in 8th place. Right now, he's riding along in 9th. He is about 30 seconds, though, away from Chris Hudson ahead of him. So Corey Moore's got quite a ways to go before he tries to make it anywhere outside of where he is right now. And he is sitting cleanly at the bottom of the top 10 right now. He's got 30 seconds ahead of him to Chris Hudson, 30 seconds behind him to Randy Mullins. So it's about as good as it gets right now for Corey Moore.
It's a pretty good recovery for Corey Moore, too, because you remember he had the contact early in the race, folded the left front fender on the wall, and has just been putting together good, clean, consistent laps ever since, and worked himself up into a top 10 finish here in the 42 machine. That's a good place to be.
Mm-hmm. Looking good. Coming back around here. That's Russell Black heading into that chicane. Well, I guess that's more like a bus stop. And across the line, Russell Black is up 4 from where he started, so he's making a little bit of progress in the 64 car.
Also up to 4th position now, a lap down as Sean Conklin works his way past Lou Christian. Now setting his eyes forward to potentially put the 3rd place runner, Brandon Passalacqua, a lap down, but he's got a little bit of a ways to go here. I don't know if he's going to be able to close all that distance here with the time left in the race. Minute and 4-second advantage, though, to the 6 car.
1 minute and 4-second advantage. Phew.
Everybody, for the most part, separated by wide margins here as we got look like a little bit of calamity there coming out of turn 7. tell what exactly happened. I saw a whole bunch of tire smoke, though.
Yeah, me either.
You're saying that there's a little bit of a lockup from one of the cars entering turn 7 is what the cause of the smoke was. So no incidents. Everybody's straight.
All
for
right.
now.
For now. Jeez Louise, Conklin. Jeez Louise. Gotta take a look at that one more time.
Yeah, I said avoid the turtles at the start of this thing, and Conklin has proven me to be a liar, so we will erase that from the notebook next time we come here. We need the we need the Ninja Turtle back on the track. I don't know if it made it to this version of the scan.
The Ninja Turtle.
A couple years back, when they first started running here at the Charlotte Roval, Corey LaJoy painted one of the turtle curbs up like one of the Ninja Turtles.
Awesome.
If I remember correctly, it was for a charity of some sort. I can't remember what the consensus was on that. I remember it being pretty cool, though.
All right. Does sound pretty cool.
One thing, 70 laps of this, I don't really envy any of the drivers.
No, even though, you know, if this was just left turns, it would be one of those things where you'd think it would be like, oh man, it's supposed to be harder to do just left turns. Nope. Road courses can be very difficult, especially on the mind when you're repeating all these technical changes, all these little things you have to memorize. There's so much more you have to do here in so many ways as a driver that, yeah, it's gonna wear you down. It's gonna wear you out.
Yeah, this track is one of those places where you're pretty much on the edge of calamity every time you enter a corner or exit, and that for 70 laps can be pretty hairy and more so mentally exhausting than anything. But this track, you know, if you run a direct drive and a lot of force feedback, it will wear you out physically too, because you've got, well, there's not really a smooth section anywhere on this place. Even the straightaways here at Charlotte, you're pretty much just beating the tar out of yourself.
It's terrifying, and I love it. Lap 58 right now. Out there for Sean Conklin. Chris Hudson's back on lap 57.
Yeah, I figured the whole field would be putting a lap down, but Passalacqua and Paul Hill putting together great performances here to at least stay on the lead lap. And none too surprising, though, too, because those are two guys that I have circled, you know, every time we come to these road courses as potential spoilers for Sean if things, you know, don't go absolutely according to plan, because these are two guys that we just see every time we go to the road courses put together great, strong performances. Paul Hill sitting there in second place, and Passalacqua sitting there P3. Still absolutely impressed with the run that Luke Christian has put together tonight, though, to retain a fourth-place spot. Can't harp on that enough, because like I said, at Daytona Road Course, man, it looked like everything that could go wrong to him went wrong that race. So definitely a lot of improvements made for the three machine. Bryce Rayner, one of the newer entries to the series, putting together a great run here tonight to hold on to a fifth-place position over Brian Johnson in sixth. Currently running around seventh, too. Another pretty strong driver out of the gates here this season. That 13 machine of Daniel Wiles putting it all together here to hopefully sneak home a seventh place position. for a 10th place finish.
Kind of hoping that he
Hudson.
does, considering that's where he started.
Absolutely. And Hudson just happy to be on a road course again, and log laps sitting in the top 10. Been a bit of a rough summer stretch for that 43 machine. Gets to go to a track in his wheelhouse here and make up some of the points lost in recent weeks for the strong 8th place running position currently. So that's running around the track another 10 times, and well, it's all done with a bow tie at that point.
We are now about to crack into the final 10 laps of tonight's race. And you know what? It's been pretty smooth overall. The wrecking we have seen has largely been guys out driving themselves on this wackadoo track with just that hairpin turn. It needs a turn like Dead Man's Alley or Dead Man's Curve or something. That hairpin has claimed so many cars tonight.
Said my daughter's favorite word too on that one.
Alley, hairpin.
Wackadoo.
Wackadoo. I was trying to think. I was like, what did I say that a little kid would be like, I like that word. I totally forgot I said wackadoo, but I did.
Yeah, really big Bluey fan that one is.
That's funny. Oh, that's fun. Well, I'm glad I could remind you of that.
That's right. She'll probably wake up in about an hour or so and remind me about it when I'm trying to go to sleep. Don't you worry. As you see, Sean Conklin now working his way past the 42 machine of Corey Moore, putting your 9th place runner a second lap down.
Okay.
Right now at this point, just trying to nonchalantly work their way around this track to finish off where they're at. Nobody wants to make a big mistake here at the end of the race where it's just completely insurmountable to come back from.
Here's the inside view with Chris Crosby as he gets back up to speed, gets ready to tackle the last 10. That's the number 9 car, who's up 4 from where he started. Just trying to crack into the top 10 if he can before the end of this thing, but it's going to be a bit of an uphill battle for him if he's going to try.
You know, it hasn't been a super exciting race there for the 9 machine of Chris Crosby, but you know one thing it has been? It's been a clean race. You know, Chris not really finding himself into too much issue tonight. This is one of the guys that, you know, puts together some pretty stellar runs throughout the season, but the luck has just not worked in his favor. So Crosby probably relieved to be running 11th place here and have all 4 corners on the car this week. And have not been caught up into anybody else's mess.
There you go. And with just 7 left, we reflect a little bit on tonight's race.
Oh, Conklin
no!
around. Huge slide for your race
Conklin!
leader out of turn 4.
He's sideways. He's going to have to sit there.
He's getting it gathered back up. Right, the rear tires are going to be absolutely cheese grated on the 10 machine. That's going to be interesting to see what happens here through the final couple corners. A huge loss of time for the 10, but still a big enough cushion to hold on to the lead. First mistake the Conklin's made all night, and well, probably just making it keep us awake up here in the booth.
Really unfortunate for Conklin.
See him right now wiggling the tires, trying to make sure he's still got traction as he comes out the back straightaway to work into the final or the backstretch chicane.
And that was probably the only one that he can allow himself tonight. He needs to keep this car straight and on the track for the rest of the night. It's not going to go his way a second time.
Even look down to the front stretch chicane, and these are the corners. I'm not really worried too much about the tire temps for them. It's going to be turn 1 here, and well, turn 3. That stressed me out for the 10 machine. See him come across the stripe there that time.
Ouch! Yeah, scraping the wall as he goes by. If he had a side mirror, it'd be gone right now.
He makes it through the more complicated turns here without a cinch, so Conklin's all right. He does lose that 40-second cushion that he had to Paul Hill. Now it's 28 seconds. Now he's got to worry about it, right?
Yeah, I guess you could say that. I mean, we are already on lap 64 or 63 now. 63 and a half, looking for 64. So, I mean... Oh, we're on 64. I'm sorry.
For comparison, that is a 28-second advantage that he has to Paul Hill. That's roughly a whole Kansas Speedway lap that he has between him and second place.
Gotcha. Now we're on 65. There we go. I'm
Right
still
there,
watching
6.
Conklin like a hawk.
Yeah, across the line there. 6 laps remaining here from the Charlotte Roval. Conklin going for what I think is win number 13 on the season. Somewhere in that
Solid
ballpark.
win.
I think last week was 12. Also, moving up into second place in the point standings here. Brandon Pasalacqua taking advantage of the fact that Levine's not here tonight, and Pasalacqua putting together a stellar run here at Charlotte. This is, I think the first time that Levine has been knocked out of second place since he joined the league a few months ago. Look at the 6 machine of Pasalacqua and such a great drive he's had here tonight. Good clean run, stayed out of trouble, hasn't made any mistakes. A couple more laps away from sealing it off and locking up a third place finish. See him dive down to the inside of the 41 machine the 64 machine of Russell Black. Lap traffic there. About 30 seconds, some change separating him from second place Paul Hill, but don't want to overstep those boundaries too much and try to reel that in. There's no way you're catching that unless that 26 machine of Paul Hill makes a mistake.
Is he gonna make a mistake though?
Paul Hill?
Yeah.
No, I strongly doubt it.
I don't think so. I don't think so either.
Paul is really good here on the road courses.
Whoa. Did you just see? Now we got a little OT here from Johnson.
Just a little bit of dirt track in here. Sends it wide.
Okay, here we are. Lap 67.
I think we're planning here. But across the stripe here, taking lap 67. Sean Conklin, your race leader by a 30-second advantage over Paul Hill in second. See Conklin work his way past the 3 machine of Lou Christian. It's been such a dominant drive here for Sean all season long, especially with these road courses. I don't think I've been on iRacing since 2018. I've broadcasted since, last year. And I've never seen somebody so dominant when we come to road courses. Like, you always see that one guy that's, a little bit better than everybody else, pulls away a decent-sized advantage, but I've never seen somebody that can just completely carve through a field like this and just throw just about everybody a lap down. See Conklin sent it through the stripe there. Lap 68. 3 laps to go here from the Roval.
With just 3 laps to go, folks, get on the edge of your seats. Let us know in the chat if your prediction for the race was also Sean Conklin taking it away. We kind of got a feeling if you've watched a little bit of Grid Vision in the past, you might have seen this kind of behavior before. But either way, it was nice to I saw some chat scrolling by. Nice to get that kind of interaction, and thanks for coming along for the ride. And just in case you wanted a little more slice of us, we'll be doing NIS next week on Wednesday.
Yeah, Las Vegas. Get ready to see who wins the dance with Lady Luck next week. And I'm excited for it. I love Las Vegas.
Me too, baby. Love Las Vegas.
One of the most fun tracks here on the service. You see Conklin work through the front stretch chicane for the next to last time here across the stripe.
That was close for him.
Sorry, no. Got another time to go here. It's lap 69.
Nice. That was yeah, Sean Conklin, just when he flew across the line there for a second, he was a little loosey-goosey. I'm worried that he was just going to outdrive it here on these last couple of laps, and I know that he's got a big bad spot on those tires from that slide earlier, so he hasn't had a chance to get any of that looked at, any of that fixed. These tires could be completely cooked.
I think he's all right, but also moving himself up into P7 there that last lap. Chris Hudson by a 13 machine of Daniel Wiles, and I think something might have happened to Daniel Wiles because he lost a lot of ground there to the 43.
And a 13 up and around. Yep, he's 5 down, but 40 ahead of his next closest rival.
Yeah, that's what we call a no man's land here at the road courses as Sean Conklin comes across the front stretch chicane for the next and last time. White flag is in the air for the Randy Belt Construction Camry as he sends it down through the heartburn turn. It's just been clean laps for this 10 machine. Every lap aside from one of them. 7 through 3 and 4 here. This is the corner that killed him a little bit ago. You see him get a little bit of a drift this time.
Ooh, yeah.
Just to emphasize the point.
Yep.
Loading up through turn 6 and a clean cut down into turn 7. The final hairpin leading back onto the oval.
Just play it cool, Conklin.
See him kick a little bit of drift here. Just trying to give us something to look at. Want to see if we can get our heart rates up. I'm not falling for it, man. We've been here a time or two. Until you knock the whole front end of the car off, I'm not saying anything. Sending into the backstretch bus stop. Handful of curbs for the 10 machine.
He's really loose.
No, he's showboating right now. He's
showboating.
fine. Yeah, he's
okay. Good.
He's trying to see how much he can trick you, Joe.
Well, it's working.
But most importantly, he's going to trick the field because coming out of the final turn here, Sean Conklin wins in dominating fashion here from the Charlotte Roval. camera on because he's going to drift for this next lap. Paul Hill bringing it through 3 and 4 here for the final time.
Let's see
Consistent run. Him and Roger Pierce are going at it from what would have been flag to flag if Pierce didn't have misfortune bite him, but across the stripe, Paul Hill brings it home P2 with all four corners on the car. A great run for him tonight. And working on coming across the stripe in third. Going to have to wait just a little bit here for that 6 machine of Brandon Passalacqua as he works down the backstretch through the chicane. I'll fly to the track all the way up to the entry to turn 3. And it's been a nice, calm night for Brandon Passalacqua, doing what he does best. Just no mistakes. Through the final chicane here, and to officially stamp himself up into second place in the point standings, it's going to be Brandon Passalacqua in the 6 machine.
There's the number 10.
That's the field because everybody else was a lap down.
That's right. Not bad, not bad. Number 10. As usual, King Friday.
It's Friday?
I know. I just like to make a little Mr. Rogers reference here and there. Correct as usual, King Friday.
Would have been better if you'd gone Thursday. You had me confused there for a minute.
Yeah, I should have, but I didn't.
Anybody that watches at home already knows it doesn't take a whole lot to confuse me.
Yeah, I said you care, ball, buddy. That's okay though. I knew you'd catch up eventually.
As Conklin is refusing to burn down here tonight, we're going to take a quick look at our results and obviously bringing it home at P1. It's going to be Sean Conklin over Paul Hill in second. Third place going to Brandon Passalacqua, the last of the cars on the lead lap, because coming in fourth place is going to be the 3 machine of Luke Christian, followed by Bryce Rayner, Brian Johnson, Chris Hudson, Daniel Wiles coming home P8 with Corey Moore rebounding to a 9th place finish over Randy Mullins in 10th.
Moving right along, Chris Crosby at 11th, Russell Black in 12th, Keith Long, John Binder, Adam Benefiel in 15th, Alexander Carr, Roger Pierce, Greg Carr, and rounding out the field, Joshua Hyatt in 19th.
After 70 grueling laps here from the Charlotte Roval, we saw a little bit of everything. Oh,
that's true.
Not a super lot of passing, but one thing that we did see was just pure domination from Sean Conklin as per usual when we come to these speedways. How'd you feel about it tonight, Joe?
Oh, I felt pretty good, my man. It was, like you said, we saw a little bit of everything. We had some self-wrecks. We had we had 1 or 2 times the guys got a little tap, a little help spinning out, but not very often, One of the things I noticed tonight, there wasn't a lot of car-on-car violence. It was mostly a lot of people out driving themselves in these conditions. And that hairpin turn, man, that hairpin turn is just murder.
That's just a very difficult track to really set up to make a pass, let alone make the pass on its own, especially with just the wake of these cars. But moving forward here as we pull our 3rd place finisher on the evening, Brandon Passalacqua, up here into the booth with us. And Brandon, just tell me about your racing, man.
Yeah, that was a long one. It was a long one for sure. Maybe next year we can shorten these road courses down a little bit, but it was fun. I love road course racing. Do a lot of IMSA in the off season, so it's always a blast to rip here on the road. Yeah, it definitely was not. Probably was a top 5 car, 5th or 6th. Got lucky there with Roger, unfortunately having his issues. He was lightning quick, and I think Adam was catching me too. So happy to come out with a podium. You just got to put yourself in the right spot at the right times, and you get lucky every now and then.
So with 3rd place finish here tonight, you have, according to the scoring anyway, have moved yourself up into the 2nd position in points now over Justin Levine. How's that feel? Because you and Justin have had such different approaches to the races every week. Whereas he tries to go for that lights out, full send every week and it works or it doesn't, depending on which track. You always have that just calculated. I always look at you as a kind of more of a Truex or a Harvick. You like to be there at the end. How's it feel, just being rewarded for that?
Yeah, no, it's great. I'm not as fast as the rest of these guys, and so I think for me, one of my advantages that I have sometimes is just being patient. So, I've been having a hard time with qualifying, so a lot of these races I've been having to really bide my time, and I lose a lot of time on the track with that. But that's what I love about this league. There's no stage racing. You can run your own pace, and you can let people go, and then in 20 laps, hopefully you catch up to them and they do the same. So it's just really been enjoyable with the style of racing that we have here. And yeah, Justin's amazing. He's a much better driver than I am, very talented. I think he doesn't even qualify, and he's up in the top 5 at the halfway point of the race. So, I got lucky with him taking a provisional tonight, and him and I will be battling for that second place spot the rest of the year.
Well, I don't know how lucky you really got there, because Justin's not been having fun on the road courses this year. I think the field got lucky. He took the provisional tonight for different reasons.
Yeah, I know.
So we got me for that later. But either way, man, P3 finished tonight, strong run, and moving yourself in second place. What do you want to thank for it?
Yeah, just definitely want to give a shout out to everyone in the league. Everyone's done a phenomenal job this year. We kind of just threw this together last second, with 28 races left on the schedule, and we've had a great turnout with amazing drivers and amazing people. So shout out to everyone in the league, all the admins. Shout out to Sean. I'm sick of getting hero cards made for him, but he's awesome. Keep it up. And then Paul Hill, he's a monster on the road courses too, and he's always fast on the oval. So shout out to him. And then of course my guys at Paradigm, Brian, Randy, Josh, and Chris, and then OB Builders, of course.
How long, by the way, we've only got so many races left in the season, so you guys going to think about putting a bounty on Sean, or stuffing a little bit of extra ballast weight in the trunk, or
that's a good
plan?
idea.
Because you guys got to make it exciting. We know we go finish this thing off in Phoenix in a couple weeks, and I think we all know how it's going to end up working out.
Right. That's a good idea, Sheldon. I think we've all been trying our best to get at Sean, but he's been on a tear this season, and especially the last 6 races. So maybe at Phoenix we'll throw a little money up, get a bounty out there, and see if we can't get a 43 car field and see what happens.
Yeah, there you go. Well, Brandon, thanks for stepping up and talking to us today. Congratulations on the P3 finish, and looking forward to seeing what you got in store for Vegas next week, because tire wear is everything when it comes to that place.
Yeah, and I forgot to mention you guys in the booth. You guys do a fantastic job. Since I started with you guys earlier in the year, you guys have been the best broadcast on the sim, so thank you so much for your guys' hard work.
We appreciate it. I'm going to hand it on over to old Joe LaCastro here with your second place finish here tonight from Charlotte. After a hard charge here, it's Paul Hill.
Hello, Paul. Can you hear us up here in the booth?
I got you.
All right, Paul. Hey, that was an impressive second place finish. You was a thing though that it's a tough thing to have to chase Sean Conklin down on a road course. I have to imagine. Was there anything that you thought, aside from maybe a meteor strike or a sudden fog bank rolling in, that might have helped you close that gap a little bit tonight, or is this just kind of a foregone conclusion?
If I want to be honest with you, we were all racing for second tonight. Usually that case when you're racing Sean at a road course, kid's an animal. No one's touching him. Short of him, honestly, spinning himself out and blowing the motor up, I didn't really have a chance against him. I was having fun racing Roger back there for second. That was a lot of fun. But short of Brand Sean, I wasn't getting there, unfortunately. That was his race to lose for sure.
Yeah, but you still managed to come across with the second place, which is important because in every other scene, in this situation, second place is just as big of a success story, especially on a road course like Charlotte. Did the changes to Charlotte throw you off at all? Is this a course that you're normally pretty familiar with, and this was a little bit different for you?
I'm a road course guy. I love them. They're a lot of fun, but I absolutely hate this place. I would much rather be on the oval, even as a road course guy. I feel like that hairpin made it even worse. I don't know how I was going to get around Roger without him making a mistake. There is nowhere to pass without bulldozing through people. I don't know what their logic was in building this track this way. I'd much rather be on the four corner oval. At this point, it's awful. If I'm completely shooting straight with you.
Please do, and I can tell from the way that the road course was, from the way the course was going, I could kind of tell that passing was just not much of an option for you guys. There was very few opportunities for you to do it where there wasn't going to be, like you said, a bulldozer moment, but still you managed to pull it off. Is there anybody that you'd like to thank or shout out to here for your second place win?
Yeah, I want to shout out, of course, all the guys here in the league that show up week in and week out. It's a lot of fun. I can't make it every week with real life commitments, but every time I come out, it's always a blast. Everyone races super respectful. The guys, racing for the win, and the lap cars, everyone seems to mind their P's and Q's as best they can and limit mistakes. So I want to shout everyone out that comes every week, the admin crew. Randy, all of them, Brandon, all those guys do a great job of keeping this place a really awesome haven to come and get some long runs and good racing. So I want to shout them out, you guys in the booth, and then everyone that helped build this set this week, me, Joseph Galato, Nolan Hodgson, all the guys that put in laps with me and helped us develop this car. I couldn't ask anything else out of it. The car was perfect. I was super happy with it all race, but just had nothing for Sean. That kid's just on a whole nother level. I think you could put him in a ARCA car and he would still beat all of us. So, I can't really ask much more.
All right. Well, you know what? You gave us plenty. So we look forward to seeing you race next week. I think we're going to Las Vegas, and we'll see you down there on the track, my friend.
I appreciate it, guys. You have a good night.
All right, everybody. That was second place is Paul Hill. I'm going to pass the microphone back over to you, Sheldon, who can take it away with the first place finisher.
And for what feels like the 800th time this season, Sean Conklin comes across the stripe first here at the Charlotte Roval. And first thing I got to ask you, man, is what do you think of the new layout? Because I know you were incredibly fast on the old layout of the Charlotte Roval. How did you feel about this new version that they brought this year here to the sim?
I don't know. I think the turn 6, 7 is kind of more difficult. It's just a tight hairpin that you gotta really slow down early for, and you're carrying a lot of speed into it. So before it was just kind of a straight shot onto the oval, but now it makes a good passing zone if you're battling with somebody or trying to get past lap traffic. But which one I like better, I'm not entirely sure. I think it's still just the Roval, and I like the Roval in general. So I think both layouts are good.
So you're definitely not going to be one of the naysayers saying that we need to go back to the oval in the fall, are you?
No.
Absolutely. Well, how's it feel just coming out there and just flat out dominating another one of these things in a row? I mean, what's this, the 13th this season?
15, but
15. All right.
Yeah.
You got to workshop that one, guys.
It was another good race. I'm inclined to tell y'all my secret for this race. It was all about the straightaway speed. If you duck your head down below your steering wheel, kind of like those road course kart guys do, you gain extra 2/10 on the straightaway. So I was doing that majority of the race, so we were able to gain some straightaway speed there and just be consistent enough through the corners that we could just make it to the straightaways and then just pull away. But yeah, just another great road course race, and I'm looking forward to Vegas next week.
So what was it with the big slide coming out of? I think it was 4.
Hey, we got to make.
Were you just trying to make us? Okay, you just had to get that rear end housing shifted. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Just got the call over the radio. Sorry about this. I'm exposing you, but it was like, hey, we need to spin and we need to knock the rear end out of this thing. I was like, all right. So I went in there and just spun it around, totally on purpose. I would never make a mistake like that. I would never make that mistake. Yeah.
Wait, man. Whatever you got to do to, get the checkered flag legally. But after, another dominating run here tonight, you lapped all the way up to 3rd place. What do you want to thank and shout out?
I just want to shout out Randy Bell Construction, Gossip Bus Lines, Victory One and Ryko for another really fast road course setup that we were working on this week, doing some double duty. We had one department on Roval and we had one department on Vegas, and it seems to be going quite well doing that. We got both setups dialed in. This one's dialed in. Vegas is pretty dialed in, and excited to go back to another mile and a half next week.
How are you feeling about Vegas too? Because I know myself, I am absolutely excited. One of the best mile and a halves on the sim. You feel the same way?
I don't know about the best. I would rank Kansas before Vegas, but I think Vegas is its own different animal. It's definitely very bumpy. If you have not driven on it, I must give you a warning that it is very bumpy when you do try it. So they updated it quite recently, I think, but there hasn't been any racing there, so I don't think anybody's gotten the chance to try it out yet. So yeah,
Did we
it's
get to
definitely
show a
going to be
rescan?
interesting. They did. They got a bump map 2 seasons ago, I think, after we went there in the spring.
Oh, that's going to be awesome. Well, thanks for coming here and talking with us tonight, Sean, and congrats again on another dominating performance. Looking to see what you can get done next week in Vegas.
Thank you.
And I'm going to hand it on over to my buddy Joe LaCastro. Any final takeaways here tonight from the Roval?
Final takeaway is I'm terrified of driving the Roval. Out of all of the road courses I think I've seen race so far, this has been one that I just think would break my brain if I tried to drive it.
Yeah, I tried testing this place out when we first got the new layout, and no, it's pretty good. The old version, this version, absolute nightmare for me. But either way, from the entire Grid Vision team, we'd like to thank you for watching and participating in the chat. For more information on getting your league broadcasted or starting your career in broadcasting, be sure to contact us on Facebook, X, or email us at info@gridvision.live. Special thanks to Andrew Cardinal IV of Whiplash Sim Cams, providing the cams used on today's broadcast. Once again, another huge congratulations goes out to Sean Conklin for winning tonight from the Roval. This has been Sheldon Atkins. I've been joined in the booth by Joe LaCastro and our wonderful, fearless producer, Austin Derbyshire. And we will see you next time on the grid.